All right. I believe we are live.
I think so. And the people just don't see us fighting with this thing.
Good day, good day. We start every show off with a kiss. How are you feeling today? Okay. We're going for me. All right. So, how are you feeling today?
I am stressed out right now, actually.
Yeah. Let's see.
You want to get into this?
Let's get into it. Oh, kitty problem. Would you like a shot?
No, and not if you're gonna give me a shot of that. I don't want that again. Y'all, that made me take a shot. I don't want that no more. I'll take a shot, but I'm not taking a shot of that.
Well, we can't reach anything right now. So, good day, Yolanda and Courtney. Thank you for joining.
I got new hair too. Look. See?
Yes.
That's why he don't never get tired of me, because he got a new girl every week.
Yeah, this is my wife.
Consuela.
The new one. So yeah, we will. Do we have any to clean up any old business?
We did, but I don't remember it right now.
From last week.
I had notes.
All right. So, want to jump in?
After every episode, y'all, we rewatch them to see what we can do to improve and anything we need to clarify on. Which is part of how one of our topics for today, because we kind of touched on our blended family situation. So that is how one of the topics for today came up.
Okay, so the first topic of today is how do we deal with blended families, and how do you handle the blend? So, how do you think we deal with blended family, or how do you deal with blended family? Either being here in our household blended family, or the blended family from your child rearing, not child rearing, your young adult.
My growing up.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be like real honest.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna do.
I'm with it. Let's go.
For me, our blend, all of my children are your children, are your birth children, like children I gave birth to that are biologically yours. And in my mind, Mackenzie is my child. Like I don't look at it any differently. I don't see him any differently. He is one of our children, and that was. This might be an emotional episode for me. That was something that was important to me to make sure that he never felt and never feels like he's an additional kid or a step kid. It's very rare that I say he's a step. So for me, growing up, people that don't know, because many people don't know that I actually have siblings. My father has additional children. I am the only child that my mother has. I'm the only child my parents had together. My mom was 16. My dad was 18 when I was born. My dad has another daughter and a son. My sister, I think, is 35. I think she's 35. She's in her 30s. We haven't really been speaking lately. And my brother just turned 8 on Thursday. So my brother is younger than my youngest child. And Imani refuses to call him Uncle David. So it's a weird dynamic because my sister and I, since we have a longer life, we didn't get to grow up together very much. I think I didn't find out I had a sister until my parents didn't get married until I was 9. So I found out I had a sister shortly before my parents got married. I got a phone call with her little high-pitched voice back then, saying that I had a sister, and I literally we had landlines. I was like, I don't have a sister, quick, because I had grown up thinking that I had sisters, and even at 9 or 10, it's a very difficult conversation to to answer the phone and somebody say that they're your sister. When I always wanted siblings and didn't necessarily have. And if you ever hear me refer to my brother and that it's not JoJo, I'm always talking about Andre, who is my best friend, but I call him my brother. Not blood brother, but anywho. So it was difficult growing up. We had I don't believe that our mothers really cared for each other, so they didn't have a relationship. Um, they didn't make sure that we had a relationship, which made it very difficult. We actually became more friendly towards each other due to Facebook. Like my sister and my mom have a great relationship. My sister and my dad have a good relationship. And like my sister calls my mom. Mm-hmm. And when she was a teenager, she actually lived with my mom when I was in college for a little bit. So they have an awesome relationship. But I think when you don't grow up with a connection to each other, it makes it more difficult to have the sibling relationship, because we've gone for months without talking to each other right now because something happened, and it's sometimes it bothers me, and sometimes I'm just like, I grew up by myself, so it doesn't really matter. But my sister and I, when we were speaking, had inside jokes and nicknames for each other, and when we are good, we're great, and when we're not good, it's like two strangers, like two ships passing in the nighttime. We're very different people. And it's sad because I miss my nephew and me, and it's very difficult when you grow up distant, not having a relationship with your sister. And to be a little bit more in my business, my sister has a sister. This is some country bumpkin stuff right here. My sister's sister is my cousin, so we just all interlinked around here. Say that 3 times fast, but
welcome to Presley.
How about your blend on your side?
Oh, my blend on my side. Well, my dad had 2 older boys before he met my mom, so I have 2 older brothers, which I know you know. Mm-hmm. One I've only met one time. Since my dad has passed, totally lost track of him. Don't know where he is. Don't know how to get in contact with him. It bothers me. It's something I think about probably every day at some point in the day. I think, anytime I see a tractor trailer, I think, is that my brother? But, you got to move on. My other brother, which I did know, who I looked up to, we're 16 years apart, so he's 16 years older than me, was murdered in 1990. So I was 10 years old at the time. So, life went on without him. And most of my life, he's been a memory. So he has a slew of kids, none of which we can even get in contact with or anything like that. So that's sad. So that was motivation for me never to have a reason to have a blended family. I always wanted all my children to be under one roof and not have to go through that blend situation. But God saw it different. He blessed me with a son, and we deal with not deal with it, but we live our lives harmoniously, I believe. And I think, and like I said in my post, I think you do a very outstanding job with the way that you interact with Mackenzie, and what you do. So I want to commend you for that. You do an awesome job with him. Now the actual situation is not really ideal. It's hard where you have 2 different parenting styles, and 2 different opinions on how to raise kids. And
you and I have different opinions sometimes on how to raise kids too.
Yes, but when we we can kind of like compromise. Like when you're dealing with someone that has no connection to you or no allegiance to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like fight tooth or nail for every little thing, except those very rare times where you both agree on things. And then when there's a little animosity in it, even if you both agree on things, sometimes a person will still make things tougher than they need to be. So there's that. And then being a male in a situation where the mom is not, she's not uh, incapable of being a mom, or she's actually a good mom. So there's no reason to go to court or anything like that, and fight for custody or anything like that. So when you're a dad in that situation, and there's no negligence on the behalf of the mom, like, but it's basically whatever. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. This is not
Because we're going
factual.
to be 100% honest.
Mm-hmm.
We do have, or did have, or I don't know how that worked out.
Mm-hmm.
Have you did file for joint custody when
Yeah.
he was a baby.
Yeah, but that's only because I
Right.
know the laws,
Mm-hmm.
and neither parent has custody of a child when the
In
child.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, in Pennsylvania, neither parent has custody of a child when the child was born if you were not married. So to solve all that from the jump, we went to court. We got joint custody, so neither one of us has custody, sole custody, and we put a child support order in place. I paid child support for the first 9 years of my son's life, um, but now things have taken a turn, and he's now living here with us. And the child support order was terminated. So that's that. So that's along the lines of what I'm talking about. Like, it's easier for moms to. No, I shouldn't say easier for moms, but when you're a male, things are different. Things are handled differently. Your stay in the child's life is different. So those are the battles that we face, or I face, when it comes to blended families. It's just that's the everyday struggle. The you know Early on, Mackenzie, probably when he was 3 or 4, prior to 5, was struggling with identity as far as who you are, like mom or what. He wasn't sure on what to call you.
So for people that, most of y'all know us, but our kids together are Deja, who will be 19 on Thursday, Nina, who is 16, and Imani, who is 8, and Mackenzie will be 10 on the 26th of July. So there's overlap there, and many people have always asked me, how could you stay? How could you be with him? How do you treat him like he's your kid? Like, I wouldn't be able to do that. But to be quite honest, we both cheated. I just wasn't bringing no other baby into this world that wasn't Donald. It wasn't going to happen. I just wasn't going to do it. It's my personal preference. And that situation was very difficult because I found out after we were engaged that she was 6 months pregnant. And at that point, I could have walked away. You could have walked away. I chose not to walk away because I refused to let somebody else win.
That was the competition. Oh my goodness.
I felt like that's the part that I can laugh about and say I just refused to let her win. Because she is not just some random girl that you met randomly. Like, you've known her longer than you've known me. So I've always felt like that she just wanted a relationship with you in that situation. So it was always kind of like I felt like I was being jabbed at for years prior to Mackenzie coming along, because she's a friend of the family. So I felt like she was kind of always nitpicking with me over time. And I don't know that she was. It's just how I felt. It's my personal opinion. So I refused to let her win, and that's why I didn't walk away. That's part of why I didn't walk away. The other part that I didn't walk away is because I knew I had cheated myself. So I think that it would be unfair for me to be so rigid on not forgiving you when I had cheated as well. So that just, to me, in my mind, that just wouldn't have been fair. And I don't know that you even know this, but what?
Tia Lawson says,
Mm-hmm.
"What's the stay worth it?"
Yeah, that's perfect. He's sexy, y'all.
Oh, that's why I was worth it, not because we're a good team.
We are a good team, but you're
Okay.
fine. I like you and stuff.
Mhm.
But no, I you are as much. I don't know if you actually believe it, but you are literally my best friend. So I don't know that I could have imagined, even if we would have broken up, I think we still would have been friends. I don't know that I would have. It would have been hard for me to be around you, like you married somebody else, but I would have stayed your friend, especially because we have a like working parent relationship. I think we do well. We don't always agree, but we do pretty well in that aspect. But it was worth it. It was hard. It was hard. It was, because I kind of felt like I was second guessing if you were actually like in a secret relationship with her on the side, because I always looked at it from my point of view. Like I couldn't imagine if I would have had a baby with a man who was in a relationship with somebody else who lived across the street from me. Because those are the realities of our situation. She lived across the street from us. I would have never.
Across.
Our address was 1941 and hers was 1940. She lived across the street. Like we're not gonna play that. I had a hair client who went to go to look for me to do hair and ended up at their house. And she was like, "Oh no, they live right there."
I never knew that.
Yeah. And she was like, "How did a pregnant girl know where y'all live at?" I was like, so she know because there's Donald baby. But I don't know that I would have been able to not be your friend in that process. And I know it was difficult for you because we always wanted a son. Like that's all we talked about in the beginning was just having boys. I never thought I would have girls. I didn't want daughters. I did not want daughters at all, let alone 3 of them, child. 3? Yeah, 3 of them? That's why I'm having a bad day now because one is tap dancing on my last nerve. But I always wanted a son. That is what I wanted. And I kind of felt like, well, since I couldn't naturally give birth to a son, there was no reason why I couldn't treat Mackenzie as the son that God just provided us, if that makes sense. And I did not want him or the girls to ever feel like I do with my sister sometimes. Like I watch you and your sisters and how y'all love on each other all the time and y'all have a great relationship. And I don't have that with my birth sister. And I didn't want our kids to grow up and not know their siblings. Like I didn't think that was fair because I don't think that kids don't ask. And this is something I said to her when I found out she was pregnant. Kids don't ask to be here. So now the situation that we put them in, we have to be responsible adults in how we handle the situation moving forward. That does not mean that it has always been pleasant. It does not mean that there have not been times that I'm sure she's wanted to knock my head off. And there is surely times that I have called people and said, I think I'm going to jail today. Because I'll knock the hell out of her. But
can't say that.
Yes, I can. We was going to do shots on here. I could say it. I didn't do it. I didn't attack her. But there's been times there have been times that I have felt serious rage. And I don't personally have anything against her. I just don't always like how things are handled. And sometimes I feel like it's not necessarily in the best interest of kids in the situation. I think sometimes it's just a battle. And one thing that cracks me up is that I think you've had times, like there have been times where you and I haven't been together. We've been separated. Even before we were married, we broke up several times. And you could have been with anybody else. I think the girls that you dated or the girls that have feelings for you hate me so much because they think that you have only been with me because of the kids, and they don't realize that you make those choices that don't have anything to do with kids. Because you could have been with any one of them except me. That they shouldn't hate me for that. I don't have nothing to do with that. They should hate you for that. Not me. Any of the women.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tia has another.
Well, I told Tia Lawson that child. That man has made a goal that you got to bear. I wouldn't be able to. Now, question, how do you handle when you get
he always wants it.
It hurts. It hurts a lot. It used to hurt like to the point where I had to go to therapy. I am a proponent of mental health. I'm a proponent of therapy. Um, During that time of, I guess I would say, our lives, I was very depressed. I cried a lot. I tried to commit suicide. Um, it was hard. There was a point where I parked my car on a train track and just wanted. I just wanted. I didn't want to live. Like it's hard to know that somebody could give you something that I can't or that I couldn't. That's difficult. It was very difficult, but you know, you tell God your plans, and He laughs. So I had to just embrace Mackenzie as he is. You know, just like people that have adopted children or foster children that could never have children. Um, it was just a period that I had to go through, and now I don't. Now that's my child. He looked like me. That's my kid.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Sorry, y'all. I told y'all this would be emotional.
Yeah, that's why we picked it. That's why we picked this topic. We've had a lot of fun on here, but we needed to do a serious topic. Um, yeah. So
how does it make you feel that your son is not with me?
Oh man, it hurts me just as much as it hurts you, if not more. Because he is my only son, and he does not share my last name, and I am the last male Vaughn. It is something that is very hard to get over, and that's one of those things where we just don't agree, and I can't force my will upon anybody in the situation that my son have my last name. So it is very difficult to deal with that situation.
So some of that I think is vindictive, and it may not be on her end, but that's how I feel about the situation.
Yes, but like some of it is karma. So um, it's just my burden that I chalk it up at two as it's my burden that I have to deal with for putting myself in a situation like this. I never wanted this type of situation, but yet uh, I allowed myself to venture into it. So this is just one obstacle that I have to be patient with. I have to overcome, and I just have to be strong and advocate for myself with her. I don't let a year go by without bringing the topic up of changing his name. It has started arguments, but she's adamant on not doing it, and I don't want to force it upon him um, to make it seem like that he has to choose. I've also suggested hyphenating. She was against hyphenating, so it's just it is what it is. She has her reasons. To her, her reasons are justified. To her, her reasons are good. There's no reason to go into them because they're her reasons. But it just it is what it is in that situation. So in
But
that part of
I
handling,
think that he's asked us, though, can he make his current last name his middle name because he doesn't like his middle name, and then have our last name? And
yes,
I don't know that is very well communicated. I don't know if he says those same things to her
he doesn't.
that he says to us.
He doesn't because he doesn't want to hurt her. You know that at the end of the day, I always tell him you got to protect your mom. You got to protect your mom. But so he loves his mom. He has feelings for his mom. He has some type of allegiance to his mom, and I don't want to have. I don't have conversations with him about it per se, because I don't want him to have to feel any type of way. Because like you said, it's not his fault. He didn't ask to be here.
Right.
He didn't ask for this situation. I put him here.
Yeah.
So
and none of our kids did, because honestly, Deja and Nina could, be resentful or hurtful, because we have friends who have we have friends who have children who are upset with their parents for having additional children. We luckily don't have that situation because they.
Oh, not that we know of.
I don't. I think our kids.
You can't speak for them. You gotta.
I think our kids would voice that they didn't like it.
No.
They may not like the situation. The two older ones, at least, Imani. People swear that Imani and Mackenzie are twins. A lot of people think that Mackenzie and Imani are twins because they only remember me being pregnant 3 times, so they just assume that they're twins.
So Christina Nicole, hey from college, said, Don, how would you have felt if Jewel had a baby with someone outside of a relationship?
Wouldn't happen.
At that time, that was a very tumultuous time for me. Those like I've said on the previous show, 2011 was tumultuous. 2012 was even more so. Had it happened around that time and we were here today, I probably would get over it. I probably would have gotten over it. Yeah.
I don't think you would be able to, and I'm not one to toot my own horn. I'm not one to say that,
but
I'm the greatest at anything, but I don't think that you would be able to handle the situation the way I handle it. I don't know, like
you have done the same things to hurt me that I've done to hurt you.
Exactly.
And we've gotten.
But I didn't bring a baby in
there. I understand that, but there was other things that you've done that I didn't do, and I've gotten over it.
Yeah, but I think it's a different. Like I assist you in raising Mackenzie, right? I don't know that you could assist me in raising Bonquisha if we had an additional kid, like with another man. I don't know the man that you are, and the way, I don't want to say the way you control things, but the way you like to be the head of things. I don't know that you would be able to deal with. And no, our baby's name would not be Bonquisha, but that's just the first thing that came to mind. I don't think that. I don't know how you would have handled that situation, knowing that another man got me pregnant and I chose to keep. I wouldn't have done it, but I don't know how you would handle it. I'm a pro-choice person.
Yeah.
We'll never know though.
We'll never know.
Never having another.
We'll never know.
We will not know. We won't know. The universe will have to think about that.
Patty. Hey, Patty
not
said.
Call Trish Patty. She might walk around here and knock you out.
Patricia said most men wouldn't be able to handle it.
I don't think you would.
No, most men probably wouldn't be able to handle it. But I like to think of myself as progressive. Like I'm not most men. Like
you today, if it happened today, you today would figure it out.
That's what I said.
You from 30 to 37?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have. But that's what I'm saying. Like because I went through that time in my life where I had to see things differently that was going on in the world. I may react differently. Like it may have been different.
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't know. But Trish is Patricia Lavin.
See, she said, "Hey, Don."
Is one of the people that I text when I'm child. When my mouth shouldn't be moving, my thumbs.
Babe. So we usually spend 15 minutes.
We do. But I said that we were only going to do.
But today we did allow
segments today because I knew that it would take. I really wanted to talk about this for the entire episode.
We got a segue, but it's not like a segue because it's kind of on the same line. Who comes first in relationship? Your children or your spouse?
Wait. Before we get there, how Mackenzie calls me mom. How did that come about? Because that wasn't my decision.
I talked to him. I had a conversation with him.
We don't explain to the people.
It was just a conversation. I can't even tell you what really happened in the conversation.
I don't want anybody to ever think that you forced him to call me mom.
No, I don't. I had a conversation with him. And I guess I basically told him like Just because you call Julia mom doesn't mean your mom isn't your mom. That's still the woman that gave you life and your mother and all of that. But as a form of respect for the person who helps clothe you, who feeds you, who drives you places, who does fun activities with you, who you rub on and fall asleep with. You know what I mean? So,
because there hasn't been a moment. I've been around Mackenzie's entire life. There hasn't been a moment, even when we were separated. Bottle. Even when we were separated, there wasn't a moment in time that I was not around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
but the question back to
who comes first in your relationship, your children or your spouse?
I know my answer.
My answer is my spouse. And I can remember having this conversation years ago, and people would be like, "Why? Like those are your babies and whatever." Yes, but your babies leave. They go. Especially I got little girls, so they definitely gonna leave. They're gonna cleave to their husbands, like the Bible says.
One told me she would leave today and never comes back.
Yes, so they leave. Your spouse is supposed to be tied with you for the rest of your life.
You stuck with me, though.
Yes. So, but in every relationship, that's not the case. But yes, I love you. Yes. So, you got to definitely take care of the needs and the wants of your spouse, first. But in infancy and things like that, there's always everything is better with moderation, right? Mm-hmm. So yes, you're supposed to put your spouse first, but you can't do it all the time, because in essence, your spouse is also an adult, and in certain situations, your spouse can fend for themselves as far as getting something to eat or things like that, where your spouse cannot. Yeah, I do a lot around here. I shouldn't have to.
You do a lot around here, but when I do make plates, you still get the big piece of chicken. You get your plate first. You get your like.
Why would a non-contributor to the fund get the biggest piece of meat? I don't. And like our kids' friends come over here and they be grabbing something, and I'm like, yo, in what world do you think we are equals? Whereas though you can come in my house and just grab my favorite piece of chicken, like that doesn't like that. That doesn't, and then when we get crabs and stuff and we bless other people's kids with crabs, and then they like, well, you got 4 crabs and why are you only giving me 1? What do you mean? Why am I only giving you 1? I'm only giving you 1 crab because I help pay for these crabs. Like these are coming out of my line. This is a line item in our budget. Yeah, like you didn't do nothing. You don't even clean up a room here, and even with our kids, like. Our kids have come up knowing that if you and I get crabs, them crabs are for you and I. Yeah. We eat I
love crabs. I can eat crabs every single day of the
week. Yes, we are both crab lovers. We're seafood lovers. Mm-hmm. We eat crab. When we're done eating crabs, we'll then call upstairs or wherever they are and be like, all right, the rest is for y'all. And don't think we're leaving them scraps and the little funny legs. No. When we get crabs, we get crabs. And it's an abundance of them. But I don't want to be rationed. You shouldn't have to be rationed. Mm-hmm. Them kids are who is rationed.
And I want to eat in peace, right? Because I like blue crabs. I want to eat in peace. I want to watch whatever I want to watch on TV. I want to have my moment. I want to drink what I want to drink. And I want to not have a kid like, oh, Mom, pass me that. Can you make me some butter sauce?
This open.
Can you put a little bit more of this in there? Can you put some ginger sauce in there? Can you crack this one open? Leave me alone.
Yes, and our rule in our house is you can't crack them, you can't eat them.
You can't crack them, you can't eat them.
You can't crack them, you can't eat them.
So Imani knows how to bust them open because I'm not doing it. My parents did. My dad still does not eat crabs. And my I didn't talk about my brother much. He's here all the time. My brother's here every weekend. My dad doesn't eat crabs. My mom eats crabs, but she didn't start eating crabs probably till I was like 12 or 13. My Aunt Jackie, who's my dad's youngest sister, she actually gave me crabs first. So whenever I was with Aunt Jackie, my mom always gave me extra money for crabs because she knew that that's what Aunt Jackie was going to make sure I had. But
Erica
Yeah,
said
you
that's
can't.
That's black family rule. You can't crack them. You
You
can't
can't
eat
crack
them.
them. You can't eat them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we don't buy them. It's very rare. If I buy Dungeness or Alaskan, that's because it's Blue Claw out of season or somebody ain't got them because I'm not going to that person. I know Jared prefers blue, Alaskan. That's not even a real crab to me.
No, that's not the hobby. It's the hobby when you sit down.
It's therapeutic.
It's therapeutic. It's therapeutic. But yeah, so go ahead and elaborate on the topic because you was talking about crabs. Not the topic.
I love crabs.
Yeah.
So much.
Bring it back.
If I ever get when I get upset, what you get me? Crabs. You get what you want.
Shout out to we should get a plug for this, but shout out to Blue Claw in Jersey.
Blue Claw gets all my money. Shout out to C Artist for introducing me, for telling Don to take me to Blue Claw because he had been there without me, and I was there yesterday. So
who comes first?
You come first. And I learned that because I never thought that before. I never thought that before we went to marriage counseling. I always thought when the question was asked to us in marriage counseling, premarital counseling, before we got married, the question was asked, who do you take care of first? Like if the plane is going, not the plane is going down, because that's not the right analogy. If the plane is going down, this was one of the questions. If a plane is going to crash, who do you take care of first, your child or yourself? And I said, my kid. Like, why wouldn't I take care of my kid first? No, because if I can't breathe, how can I take care of them, right? And I was like, oh, sense. I have to be able to breathe.
I think it was if a boat is sinking, not a plane crash, because I think
it was
plane crash is like
because you got to put the oxygen on. It was like who do you put the oxygen on?
Yes,
first?
you put the oxygen on yourself first because if you pass out,
right, who's going to help them?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So then the next question was, okay, well, what is your order of importance in the relationship? And I said the kids. And that pastor looked at me and was like, not biblically. That's not how it's supposed to go. It's supposed to be God, spouse, children. And nice. even when we separated, aside from me not wanting to pay for the divorce that I did not ask for, I had to think back to what our actual marriage vow said. And it never said that I would. My vow is actually, when you're getting married, if you listen to the vows, if you do the traditional wedding vows, your vow is actually not to the person. Your vow is to God, that you are going to honor God in the way that you take care of this person. So even when we were separated and you tore your rotator cuff, I had to think to myself, all right now, Lord, Jesus, what is it that you need me to do to help him? Because it's not about me being servitude of him, it's about me being in servitude of the Lord. So even when we were separated and you tore your rotator cuff, I still got your medication. I still took food over. I still made sure that you were okay because it wasn't about me honoring you. Those vows are about you honoring God. And I'm not saying that anybody who doesn't follow this isn't fully Christian. I don't go to church every Sunday. I used to pre-COVID, but now I kind of watch it when I get a minute. But it doesn't. These are just my personal beliefs and how I view marriage and how I view the vows that I took because it says that you're honoring God and not God. So I believe that Don should get my husband. I'm very protective of my husband. I can talk bad about him, but y'all can't. And I get very angry and defensive when other people talk crazy about him, but it ain't for y'all to talk crazy about him. But I make his plate before I make anybody else's, even on the days when I don't want to, even on the days when I'm pissed off, even on the days when and like Sunday, you had shrimp and grits, you were asleep because we partied real hard Saturday night. I brought the food up to you because I knew I was going to be doing Nina's hair and I wanted to make sure that you had food first because I knew we had drinks the night before and I didn't want.
But Nina told me she made that.
No, Nina made hers. Nina made her plate before Nina's a lie. Nina made her plate on a paper plate before I made your plate in a glass bowl.
Nina said she cooked the grits.
She did. She did cook the grits. I taught her how to make grits properly, but I made the plate. We made the shrimp and grits together, and I made the turkey bacon to put on top of the shrimp. Okay. All right.
So she said,
she made
Dad, I made the grits and the shrimp. Mom made the bacon.
No, she started the shrimp.
Mhm.
and I explained to her how to season it,
Mhm.
how to do it, because she really likes shrimp and grits.
Mhm.
So I explained to her how to cook it and how to do it, and how you make the sauce a quick way, not with, sometimes I do the tomatoes and stuff on it, but I didn't do that this time.
But
I just did.
Saturday and Sunday morning breakfast is my favorite.
Saturday and Sunday morning breakfast is Don's favorite. I don't even like breakfast.
Oh, like
Like,
breakfast.
I don't really. I can drink a cup of coffee or a protein shake and be quite fine. Don, on the other hand, want a hot meal every day because his mom makes hot breakfast, and that's what he like, and that's what he wants.
Howard Riley said, "My baby don't lie." He talking about Nina.
I know he's talking about Nina. That child lying. She did help. We did make it together. I did teach her how to make shrimp and grits, but she also ain't clean up nothing, and she left it there and went out. Okay, so talk to you, baby.
She said, "All right, Deja and Nina." Patricia said,
I know.
"Stop debating over who cooked."
And she talking about me and you.
Mm-hmm. Yolanda said, "What? It's the best meal of the day."
I don't, Ella. I don't like it. I don't. Not that I don't like it. I don't need it. I don't even know if that makes sense, but I don't need breakfast.
I think it's the best. It has the most. I'm not going to say the most
probably
range.
better for you to eat breakfast. I'm just not normally hungry when I wake up.
No, breakfast is so good, like eggs and like bacon,
Mm-hmm.
and then like pancakes.
That's all cute. I could care less.
Man.
When we go to IHOP, it's really not for me. It's for you.
Yes, but IHOP is my favorite restaurant.
I know.
Plug.
I know.
So IHOP
is the
plug. Y'all gotta pay me at some point one day.
Yes, I don't really care about breakfast, but I will. So we have an agreement. Aside from, if y'all have seen previous episodes, y'all know that Don wants a meat and two sides and a big glass of juice 3 times a week, and I want razzle dazzle 4 times a week. One of these meals, he also expects me to make a hot breakfast on either Saturday or Sunday, regardless. So when I make breakfast,
well, breakfast only. I mean, you could get up and scramble some eggs, like, and it's done.
This is so easy. You could do it.
I could.
Right.
I could. You could also put some gasoline in that lawnmower, or go out there and shovel, or go clean your car out, or a lot of the things that I do that you don't have to.
I could pay somebody.
I could pay somebody to cook too.
You could.
Mm-hmm.
Not opposed to it. Mm. I'm not opposed to it.
Another plug. HelloFresh.
Now I'm about sick of you buying HelloFresh.
HelloFresh.
Because if another box show up here, I'm a smack the hell out of you and HelloFresh. If another box show up here, we don't have any room for any. All my son wanted was some milk for cereal. We had to move all these HelloFresh bags out the way so that he could have some milk to eat some Captain Crunch. Because it's too much. It's too much HelloFresh.
So Ja Aiken says, good old Joe, he says, it starts your train of thought off in a great way on a daily basis. That's that brain food. Breakfast is important. The best meal of the day. The most important meal of the day.
We gonna agree to disagree. I don't need it. I can function with a cup of coffee and some water. I'll eat around 12. But I also like intermittent fasting. So I don't need to eat. A lot of times when I cook breakfast, it's literally just like the bane of my existence, and I'm literally making it because you want.
Mm-hmm. Christina Nicole said, "No, she can't. We do not cut grass down."
I wouldn't
say all the syllables down.
I will pay someone. Okay, I want them little boys walking around here that don't have nothing to do, and instruct him on how to cut this grass. I'm not doing it.
So this brings us to 7:45.
Y'all see Don be on a strict timeline, right? Like we can't even let the conversation keep going.
7:45.
Keep going. What was the third question?
Is it your job to make your spouse happy? Is it your job?
Happy wife, happy life, or is it happy house, happy spouse?
I more believe happy house, happy spouse, because if your husband is not happy, then he's not going to want to pay the bill.
But you don't pay the bills by yourself.
But I pay the bill. You know what I mean? Like we put money into the account.
We put money into the pot.
And then the bills get paid.
Mm-hmm.
So if that was my responsibility to make sure the mortgage or rent gets paid, and I'm not happy,
So you're
then
not gonna pay this light bill because you're not happy?
I would be more so inclined not to. Yeah.
I'm
Just
more
think about
so
it in your
inclined
past.
not to make
In your
breakfast, but I do it if I have to.
in your past with me,
Mm-hmm.
when you have not been happy,
Mm-hmm.
have you been willing to pay bills?
That's never been the reason why a bill wasn't paid.
That's funny because that's exactly what you told me. I wasn't happy, so I stopped paying the bill.
No, I wasn't happy, so I moved out and stopped giving you money to pay the bill. That's a whole different conversation for another day. But that's not just me. I'm upset with you, so I'm not paying no water bill. Like, that's crazy.
But that's essentially what happened because you
believe.
You were under contract. You voided your contract and moved out because you weren't happy, and then you stopped paying bills, and you got an apartment on your own, and you didn't pay bills, right?
We want to go into that today.
Isn't that what happened?
You said some crazy stuff to me, and
I said some words.
You said some off the wall words.
Mm-hmm.
And your actions were not lining up with what needed to happen in order for me.
So you weren't happy.
So I moved. Why would I keep paying bills somewhere where I moved out of?
So were you happy? Did you move happy?
No.
Okay. So therefore, you weren't happy, so you moved.
I don't think that's the same thing. Because what you're saying is that if the husband's not happy and he's the one paying the bills,
I'm saying if it's the spouse, anybody.
If the spouse isn't happy. I know some women who are pissed off right now today, but they still gonna pay the mortgage.
But there's probably something else that they're not doing. There's probably something else that's being neglected. I just chose bills as an example, but if you're not happy,
I don't understand people who aren't happy that withhold sex. I think that's dumb.
But it happens.
It does, but I don't understand. What? So, okay. So let's get into this for a second.
So wait, if you're not happy, and that person is the reason you're not happy, how do you then, as a woman, because I know it's different for men, I don't have to like you. And I think it may be a little different for you.
I ain't gonna like you.
So, but for those women that have to have all the attraction and all that, they need all the 10 steps of lovemaking. Like, you can't expect them to then give up the cookie.
Ladies, listen here.
And do any razzle dazzle.
Look at me. Look at my eyes. Listen.
Don't punish yourself.
Don't be out here punishing yourself because you're mad at him. Because, listen, if the argument didn't happen in the bedroom over something specifically in that bedroom, then there's no reason why you should be withholding things in the bedroom because of it. That, to me, makes no sense, right? So, scientifically, if you razzle dazzle and have your awakening moment, that's what we'll call it because we're on Facebook and this is a family show, you're going to relieve tension, you're going to relieve your headache, you're going to live longer, and you're going to be happier, so you're probably not going to be mad at him anyway when it's over.
But then, then there's those people, most times it's the female,
sometimes because you be mad at me and withhold it.
And they'll say, sex doesn't solve everything.
It don't, but it doesn't. Sure make you forget some stuff.
It doesn't. Exactly. And that's where I come into. Like, it won't solve the problem. It does, but it will make, like, all problems don't need to be solved. Like, people think like all problems got to be solved. Some problems you can just let that thing go.
A lot of things you can let it go.
We can let go.
To disagree.
We can agree to disagree. Let me be mad, and then
because you want to be happy or you want to be right.
But I'm also not going to just give up no razzle dazzle without making you work for it, especially if you was the one in the wrong. Like, if you was the one in the wrong.
Always think I'm the one.
No.
97% of the time, you think I'm the one that's wrong.
I am the one that will admit when they're wrong, and that it doesn't escalate to the far reaches of the earth when I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, it'll be quick and easy and be like, you know what? You're right. I'm wrong. Cool. You'll be wrong, be sitting in your wrongness, and still be doubling down on the wrongness. And it's just like, yo, dude, like, it's evident right here. We see this. And you just always got to be right. Well, that's what wrong people say. When you're wrong, that's the first thing you go to. You're like, oh, you just always got to be right. Because you see the other person is right, and you just don't want them to be right, so you say that. But hold on, we had somebody said,
'cause I,
yeah, fix your face. Yeah. Mhm.
okay.
Oh, somebody.
What?
So they doubled down on it.
Oh, what?
Christina also said, "Fix your face."
Cause now I be wrong sometimes. I'm not always right. Nobody is always
Nobody
right.
is always
That's the
right.
thing. If I ain't right, I don't have a problem. It's somebody in this house mad at me right now because they think I believe I'm right. It wasn't about me being right. We can agree to disagree. I don't have to agree with you. I have an opinion. You have an opinion. Just like everybody has a butt crack. We all have them. Doesn't make your opinion right. It doesn't make your philosophy right. It doesn't make mine right. But what are we going to do at this juncture in time to make this situation work out? Are we going to take 10 minutes and cool off and let it be and then get this razzle dazzle happening later? Or are you going to need to tuck yourself like an egg roll, like somebody I know, in the sheets and they be snapping it so that can't nobody touch them?
Yeah, that's me.
And like, so I just don't believe. But some of my friends have told me that, well, you just always think about sex. I don't always think about sex, but it surely makes the world feel better a lot of the time.
John's dropping some dimes with that. He said, "Respect, not neglect." I like that. I like that. So, in my response to this question, is it your job to make your spouse happy? I think it is. I think to a point, it is your job to make for you. No one can make anybody happy, but I believe it's your job to do the things you know that person would like you to do for their happiness and their sanity. I think that is more is when you're in a marriage, your responsibility. When you're dating, maybe not so much, but you always want to do the things like we just said. I know you like crab, so when you're upset, I go get you crab. That I don't have to do that,
right?
But I do it because I don't want to see you upset. I don't want to see you even just like even keel. I always want to see you on the upset. Like I love seeing you laugh hard. Like I go out of my way sometimes to see you hurt your face laughing. You know what I mean? Like I've taken pictures.
That's not hard though. I don't think with us. I don't think that's hard.
Oh, like you think you an easy laugh?
Yeah. I think I laugh at you a lot.
That's because I'm super funny. And that makes you full. That brings me back to something else you said.
What I do?
You said you don't let nobody. Who are you talking about me?
Oh God.
Who are you talking about? Somebody out here talking about me? Man, let me find out you were myself. So I'll be out here talking about me.
So you know that text message situation that we had recently with the Mackenzie's mother, and I felt like her words were attacking you, and that's what was making my blood boil in that situation, and that's where I was like, oh, I'm about to. Okay. So stuff like that, like I don't like that. Like don't come at him and even when we were separated, when people would post like, oh, your baby, no, it's not my baby daddy. That's my husband. The only person to call him my baby daddy is me, and I only say that when I'm trying to get his attention. But I just don't play like that. There's a lot of things I play with, but I don't. This one, I don't play with this one right here. You want to see me get angry? Play with this one, and then we'll see how things go. But I don't think it's. I don't think your happiness is my responsibility.
And I don't put it on.
I don't things that I know make you happy, like all these plethora of toys we have over here that y'all can't see. Don has a he likes gas powered cars, which are very expensive. He likes train sets and racing cars and artillery, and cigars and motorcycles and Harleys and Lowe's and Home Depot. And if he says to me, babe, I want to go to Lowe's or Home Depot, I'm not going. It's very rare that I'm going to be like, no, you can't go. Like, all right, see you. You want to buy an $800 truck? Knock yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the toy you want to play with? Go ahead. You want to build an entire track at the front of the house when people walk in the door? That's what they say. Okay, this is what you want to do. That day, I was doing Sugar's hair, and you were like, "I think I want to build a track today," and I was like, "Okay." We can't order one off of like Wayfair or Amazon or Walmart. No, I think I want to build it. And it turned into this massive track. Anyone who's been in our house sees this giant track when they walk in. And I've had some wives say to me, "Why would you let him do that? He's a grown ass man. He can do whatever he wants to do. It's not my job to stop him in what makes him happy. If that makes him happy, knock yourself out." Doing hair and makeup makes
there we go. So I think
is an expensive habit. It makes me happy.
I think you let me you allow me to get away with certain things because your Amazon and plug for Hairtown habits are out of control.
Amazon, a lot of stuff I use for business.
Yes, but our house is not set up for business purposes. I.e.,
you bought me a salon chair.
Yes, I brought you a salon chair
for me to do stuff that I can order off of Amazon and here.
Yes, but we can't race on the racetrack because we can't.
Multiple people in the house have packages on the racetrack. It's not just me. I ain't gonna say I don't. I do have some. I do have some stuff over there, but it's not just me.
Brother Daniel tried to change the subject. He said sundresses make him happy.
Sundresses definitely. Sundresses do make Daniel happy.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who has sundresses, Daniel? Amazon.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, so it's not your sole job to make someone happy, but it should you should try.
You should care.
You should care.
So we were separated, and I had a friend who we don't speak to. She doesn't speak to us anymore. But I had a friend, and I dated this guy. And one day she was like, "You don't like him." I said, "Why do you say that?" She said, "Because that man told you he was allergic to shrimp and chocolate, and you gave him both." I was like, yes, I don't like him. I didn't care. But I would never give you stuff. Like, I know wool makes your skin itch, and you had like eczema pop up on your leg. So I learned how to make body butter to make sure that your legs are protected. So it's like, when you care about somebody or when you truly love someone, you're going to do whatever's in your power to make sure that person doesn't feel any intentional pain. Like, I would never do anything to intentionally hurt you at this phase in our life. I think I may have done some things I don't know if I've ever done anything intentionally to hurt you. I've done things because I was hurt and I didn't care if it hurt you. But I think that's different than intentional. Like, I intentionally almost ran somebody over in college with my car because they intentionally was touching me. So I almost ran her off the road. But I think that's different. I didn't cheat because I was intentionally trying to hurt you. I was cheating back then, pre-marriage, to feel good, to have someone make me feel special. And now at 40, well, I learned with 440, but that doesn't come from happiness. Doesn't come from somebody else.
Oh God. Yolanda said, I believe she's talking about making people happy. She said, yes, they do. You have to be happy. Why hair makes Julia happy? Not necessarily doing hair, but her hair makes Julia happy. Yeah. So there's nothing I need to do but not say anything. But leave me alone and leave her. And it's not. I allow her to do it. She's a free person. She's not under my control. She can, if she wants to buy hair with her separate money, then by all means. Now, if she wants to buy an abundance of hair and she wants to dip into household money, then we have to have a conversation. And even then, still partially her money. So if that's what you want to do and you don't want to go on this vacation and you want to spend that money on some hair, okay.
So we have an agreement on the amount of money that we don't spend over $1,000. Like
wait a minute. What? We don't spend over $1,000 out of our own money?
Yeah, that's the agreement that we had. You've been
I
spending
thought
more than $1,000.
what would I buy that would be more than $1,000?
I don't know, but that was the conversation that we had though. Like, I need to check in with you if I got to spend over $1,000.
But I thought that was out of savings or joint account. But all right, cool. It don't make no difference to me. I don't.
Well,
really...
I guess that makes sense.
Because
if you got
it's your money, why are you
right?
Like, you don't need if you get a if you
that makes sense. That's just not how I thought about it. Anytime I spend a lot of money, I'm always like, so I want to buy this thing.
Yeah, but everything that I buy that's expensive, even if it's not $1,000, like when I want to buy a remote control car, I'll be like, yo, I want to get this remote control, and first I'll ask you to buy it for me. And if you refuse to buy it for me, then
I only refused to buy it that one time. I don't even remember why.
I just, I give you gift ideas. That's basically what that is. I give you gift ideas.
Don sends me his Amazon card, y'all.
Yeah.
He's like, ain't this nice?
Mm-hmm. And if I feel as though you're not biting at my bait, then I'll just go ahead and buy it myself. Yeah.
You called me recently about something that you wanted to buy. Oh, your new iPad.
Yeah.
But I thought you were calling me for that because it was over $1,000. That's what I thought.
No, because I be wanting you to talk me out of it. Like,
I don't talk you out of stuff though.
I understand that.
Your first motorcycle that you bought, I found it.
Yes, but sometimes you do talk me out of stuff. So sometimes you'll be like, well, do you really need that? Because I wanted to buy that Harley a couple months ago, and you were like, you have a bike already. Why don't we wait until we move to get a Harley? Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, that's a good point. You made a valid argument. So I stopped. I don't even go on and look at them anymore. Like, if you notice, I don't send you little pictures anymore. I don't even look at them because if I see one that's in my price range, it's all it's going to do is tip me to go buy it.
What do you think would happen if you came home with the Harley one day? Like, you were just like, you know what, I'm getting this no matter what she say. I'm going to come home with this Harley. What do you think would happen?
I don't think anything would happen. There's no consequences.
I do be afraid sometimes when these Amazon packages be showing up at the door. When Amazon, FedEx, DHL, when they be coming out, like,
yeah.
the packages. I used to, at least now I don't hide them. I used to hide them in my car.
Well, there's nowhere to hide them.
But I used to, y'all, before Amazon wasn't existent, I used to go to the store and hide stuff in my car, and then when Don would go to work, I would take all the tags off, wash the clothes, and put them in our laundry.
Mm-hmm. Deception. You see what I'm saying? It's all.
Put them in our laundry, or put them in the closet and be like, babe, you remember this outfit? You remember these shoes?
Tammy said, wait, you got a Harley? No, Tammy.
Girl, no.
I did not get the Harley.
You know how fast I'd have been on the phone with you if this man came in the house with a Harley? I'd have been on your phone. We would have talked about it. Tammy said if I do somebody else's hair, she's going to be at the door.
My sister Quanda said, please, no Harley. I only have one brother. But I have a motorcycle already.
But you know
that's
that
probably even more.
Your motorcycle currently makes Quanda extremely.
Yeah, but why would you say no Harley when I have a Hayabusa?
Yeah, you'd be safer.
Like that. Like, if anything, you should be like, yeah, you need to slow down and get a Harley.
On a Harley, you'd be sitting back like this, listening to your old.
But why your voice get deeper when you say
listening like this?
It's got radio on it, and you be
riding like an old man.
It's not an old man.
John, you know you're not 40, right? Like, you really like 67 and a half.
I'm 41 years old.
You're an old man.
No, I only want a Harley. The only reason I want a Harley is because after my accident, my knee needs to be stretched out. Mm-hmm. And if I go on long rides, like when me and my buddies went to Delaware, mm-hmm. on 95, I felt like I needed to stretch my leg out, and it's hard to do when you.
So you don't believe
when you in the mix.
So you don't believe that you could have been born in 1942? Like, you don't think that you act like an old man?
Being born in 1942 might have been all right. The rules was different. The rules to the game was different.
You wouldn't have had such an independent woman. You would have had Sally Mae, who stayed at home. and cook every meal and press the shirt.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Quan.
Quan said
Mr. Harley.
Mr. Harley in the building. Yes. Quan and old.
I'm not married to Quan. I don't know what Quan acts like. I know you act like an old ass man already. And a Harley would just add.
And Quan said, no, I want a Harley because he has one.
He don't want no Harley. Oh, you want one because Quan has one.
Mm-hmm. That's what he said.
No, I think you want a Harley because you like toys. Those are your big boy toys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with you getting a Harley. We just gonna get this 5-bedroom house first. 4 or 5. I'll settle for 4.
Yeah. It depends on, I mean, like I said, the right deal.
No.
The right deal come along. I can't pass up. Like if the right deal comes along on the right bike.
Mm-hmm.
If I finance it, it's
I mean,
it'll probably be paid off before we get a 5-bedroom house. We would probably add to the great credit that I already have.
I don't know. I would. I don't know what I would do if you rolled up here with a Harley. I'd probably be mad for like 5 minutes. The Harleys are expensive. More expensive than the bike you have. We have a lot of vehicles already.
Yeah, if I got a Harley, something would have to go.
You're not willing to part with anything. Y'all, Don keeps everything.
No, I would.
Don keeps everything.
I think I just inhaled some of your hair.
Put your arms. You want to patch your back? Put your arms up.
No.
Put your arms on me.
So, some tumbleweed just went down my throat.
You're such a...
Howard said, no more Pottstown, Vaughn. I don't know what he means by no more Pottstown, Vaughn. Oh, I guess, moving all the way to Pottstown.
We're not moving to Pottstown, but we are going to find a 4 to 5 bedroom house in Abington because I like the school district.
Not just Abington, in this 5-block radius.
My ward is larger than 5 blocks.
In this 5-block radius, we'll be looking.
No. If a house becomes available in Abington that is not within Ward 5, I would have to forfeit my position in local politics, which is a very difficult task in and of itself, because my family doesn't hurt. Yeah, that's what would have to happen.
Pelly said, we keep a lot too, sis.
I know. That's why I don't say nothing. That's why I don't really. When you say
so, the people that frequent my house, like Pelly, and some of these other people that have commented, you notice they know the deal. They know what meets the eye. My racetrack.
I'm very crafty.
Yes, my racetrack is in the front of the house, but it's neat. All the cars are facing the same direction. It's very neat. It's got a skirt around the bottom.
I like putting things together. I like doing things with my hands. I like doing. Like the Deja had a prom dress for who's prom? She went to my prom.
Mm-hmm.
And the dress that we found was really, really plain. I was like, oh, rhinestones and glitter. We can make this work. And I sat for days with fabric glue and bedazzled the hell out of that dress. And you couldn't tell us that it didn't look like it cost more than the $40 that I think I paid for it. But I just like doing those types of things. My mom always made me do crafty stuff, but she's very hands-on with me.
And guess who got to clean it up when it was done? This guy. I cleaned up the glue gun, the hot glue gun, the rhinestones, the 3 different sizes.
For that one.
Which one was it that you used the glue gun?
I didn't use the glue gun for. I think when I did the 316 birthday room, I may have used the glue gun.
One of them situations.
But I didn't for the dress. I used the fabric glue and just did everything by hand for days.
Oh, Christina wants a picture of the racetrack. I think I have a few pics of the racetrack.
So we had a train track situation when we lived in Little Garden.
Yeah.
That went around the Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm. But this is more permanent.
This is that. Listen, and I don't. Sugar's probably not on here, but my cousin Sugar was here. Was doing her hair, and Don literally went and bought lumber, measured everything out, and built the table, the legs, the felt that stapled down to it so that it looks like the track is. So the cars look like they're on grass.
Mm-hmm.
He built it all.
And I can't take anything away from him for doing that because it was something that he wanted. It was something that he wanted to do. We can't really replace it. I don't know how we would move it if we were to move. And every now and again, he's like, I'm going to take this down. No, you ain't. You ain't got
No, I think I am. I think I'm going to take it down.
All the time. You ain't got a lot of me.
Just because we're talking about moving soon and I don't want to wait until we move to take it down. I want to take it down, get rid of all this stuff. But
I don't think we don't have to do that until probably the end of this year. Because right now it is a buyer's market. We ain't buying in this. I need to buy when it's a seller. I mean the other way around. It's a seller's market right now. I need to buy when it's a buyer's market.
I knew what you meant.
The people might not know what I meant.
So we plugged a lot of people, a lot of different businesses. We forgot
Vaughn Girls.
Vaughn Girls Beauty. These are our two oldest daughter, Deja and Nina's businesses.
And I currently have on lashes right now.
Yeah.
And hair. And I don't have any earrings on.
Bonnet, shower cap.
We have braid bonnets. They are $10. We have braid shower caps, which are $10. So they're good for long braids and dreads, or sister locks, or whatever long hairstyle you have going on. You got a long weave, it can go. I can stick mine in there right now, and nothing will get wet, and everything will be protected. We have earrings. We have waist beads. We have bundles, different textures of bundles. We have Brazilian, Indonesian, and relaxed texture bundles. We have deep waves, curly, and micro length. We have jeweled headbands and jeweled hair clips.
Usually commercials.
Lashes and lash glue.
Okay, there we go. And if you need a podcast or a live shot in your home, hit me up. I'm trying to grow my business too. So inbox me, let me know. I'll bring all my equipment to your house, set up, and you can talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. Let your voice be heard. All right.
Anything else?
Give me my kiss to end the show.
It's over?
Oh, baby, we
done?
Yeah, we went.
We don't have nothing else we want to talk about.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
We had a good weekend.
We had a good weekend. You want to elaborate on our weekend?
We went to Mike's Havana Night 40th birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
A great time.
Yep.
Deja is a bartender. She's a certified mixologist. She is for hire if y'all need her. $75 first 4 hours, $25 each additional hour after that plus tip. And then Sunday we had a farewell party for one of the Kappa wives that is moving to North Carolina. So we had a whole seafood situation, and I did a balloon art, and we had, I don't think I didn't show you, we had them Kappa wives t-shirts, and we all got tumblers with our names on them. And
you should have posted some pics.
Cute. Well, that's Melissa's business. I should have.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a great weekend. I'm tired, y'all. I've been tired since May. I need a nap.
July 10th was also my brother-in-law Daniel's birthday, so shout out to him. Happy birthday. And July 11th was my sister D'Amica's birthday, so that's where I was on the 11th. I was with my family. My brother-in-law Roger cooked, awesome meal. But like Julia said, we went to my frat brother Mike Early's house for our Havana Nights party. Smoked a couple good cigars. Probably one of the longest parties I've ever attended.
Longest day party.
Yes.
We left at midnight and it was still a house full.
It was still a house full of party people. So yes, it was definitely a great weekend.
And our oldest baby.
Her birthday is
no baby no more.
What, 12 o'clock tonight?
Thursday.
Or what's today? The 13th?
Thursday.
I'm thinking today is Wednesday.
Yeah, because I keep switching the show up on you, so you don't know if it's Tuesday or Wednesday sometimes.
Yeah.
You know.
That's not me, y'all.
Into my schedule.
It would always be on Wednesday if it was up to him.
It would always be on Wednesday if it was up to him. But depending on how these situations flow and how these care clients roll in and what we got going on, you have to leave Wednesday. So we couldn't do it Wednesday. What?
We could. No, I'm listening to you. No, we could have done it Wednesday.
I thought you wanted to leave on Wednesday.
I would not have left on Wednesday. Like, I know
I thought that was your plan. My bad. I'm sorry.
No, my plan was to leave whenever we did this. I could have been leaving right now. Me and the kids.
So next week you want to do the Wednesday?
It doesn't
I
matter
don't
to
know
me.
when Wednesday is. I'll keep y'all posted because I'm the one that determines when the show's gonna be. So
Yeah.
I will let y'all know if you have any questions, any comments, any suggestions, any topics that you would like to discuss that you do not want to put yourself out there. You can inbox me. You can inbox us. If you have my number, you can personally text me and give me your suggestion. I will keep your information private. Whatever you people have inbox us, different topics
Mm-hmm.
and things to discuss. If we haven't personally been through, I don't think there's much that we haven't personally been through.
Even if you guys want to just give us tips or ideas on how we can embed our show, always open to
we do. So
suggestions.
I don't know if Stephanie is still here, but yesterday when I did her hair and she was looking at our page, she said, "Why is this not a business page?"
Why isn't a business page? Well, to tell you why it's not a business page is for months and months before we actually put this together, we have been talking about putting this together. And I said to Julia, hey, why don't you start a Facebook page for the whatever it is that we decide to do? And for months and months, it did not get done. So one day I went ahead and I did it because that's as men, that is what we do. If something isn't done, we step in and we do it. So I did it. It wasn't until 3 days before our first show that you came to me and said, well, why isn't it a business page? Yeah, well, you should have made it a business page. That's what you should have done. You should have been on your motivated boy. And
I am busy.
Yeah, you were busy. So I did it, and this is what I did when I did it. Had I had some instruction on what to do, then it would have been differently, but I didn't.
So y'all, if this switches over to a business page, y'all will know why.
Yes.
But we will still keep this page and then add a business page because on the business page, as the show grows, because I do believe it will grow, as the show grows on a business page, you can get monetized and people can pay us to do this. So there's that.
Yep.
Right now, we just do this for laughs.
And giggles.
And giggles.
And razzle dazzle.
And giggles. Razzle dazzle. Someone did suggest
that we get
razzle dazzle t-shirts. Would y'all buy razzle dazzle t-shirts? Let me know.
Let us know in the comments.
We already have one pre-order request.
Yes.
Let us know in the comments if you will buy a razzle dazzle t-shirt because I'll get them made.
They're going to be black.
Since Don won't let me be on OnlyFans, I have no problem with figuring out a way to make $1. So I will surely make some razzle dazzle t-shirts. Oh, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm choking. You keep talking. End the show with a kiss because not all shows are going to end this nicely. I have a feeling that one of these shows is going to be touchy, and we're going to have to end with a kiss.
It was touchy today.
Yeah, but
I was emotional.
You were emotional, but you weren't mad.
Oh, you think we're going to end mad one day? Y'all, if y'all know how our living room is set up, I'm in the corner. So even if I get mad, I can't storm off. I'm stuck in the corner.
But
so I will have to wait for this show to be over to get up anyway.
But you wouldn't be mad because I got to hit you with the luscious. And that calm
because you think
all.
the luscious that calms me down.
Yep. Till next week. Peace and love. We're out.